everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Saturday, April 2nd, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Many of us kind of get confused when we talk about surrender. We have a propensity to, if we surrender, it means we're giving up or quitting, but that's not the true understanding or meaning. When we let go and let the universe guide us, only through surrender can we embrace our divinity and simply be open and vulnerable to the universe. We already have all the courage we need. Existence fills us the moment we surrender. Existence fills us the moment we surrender. And the universe doesn't make mistakes. Ever has. There's no such, with the universe, it doesn't make mistakes. That's our physical material world understanding. Don't be concerned that you make a fatal choice, because there aren't any of those. Your inner being is always guiding you. You are always finding balance. It is a never-ending process. Abraham Hicks. A never-ending process. Nothing that happens in this universe is ever by chance or coincidence. We live in a highly intelligent matrix of conscious energy that is continuously unfolding in absolute perfection. Every leaf that falls from every tree, every baby that's conceived, every death that occurs, an unexpected random sidewalk encounter that we have is born within this all-inclusive field of a live quantum intelligence. There is simply no escape from it. Even though our minds may believe that things happen randomly or coincidentally, the reality is that we cannot step outside the field of this vast perfection that surrounds us at all times. The universe is infinite, and in any infinite field, there are unlimited number of possible energies, dimensions, and outcomes. What someone says is wrong on one side of the planet, somebody will say is right on the other side. It is only the mind's creative imagination which overlays a personalized should upon reality, imposing that things are supposed to be a certain particular way than the way they actually are. To fully see, feel, and experience the radical and absolute perfection of existence, we must choose to first open our minds to accept the grander scope of the universe. To begin this journey, we must choose to look within ourselves, witness the dark and lighter aspects of our own lives. All the traumas, challenges, wounds, hardships that we've endured from our past need to be embraced, as well as all the divine gifts, deep eternal love that have sprouted from them. When we can feel the sacredness of our wounding, accepting it as an avenue that was needed to experience a deeper spiritual awakening, we can experience the totality of life as a pendulum which is swinging in perfect balance and precision. From this perspective, we can relax into the high and low points of our lives and meet the richest dimension of our being. It takes a very expansive, patient, and mature understanding to see that deep down, the universe is a deeply intelligent, omniscient energy field which simply cannot make a mistake in our lives. When we open up to the understanding, we begin seeing our every life event as sacred, and that no occurrence has ever been by chance. Our past then becomes a playground of memories where we can pick and consciously choose how we wish to interpret who we are, reinventing ourselves, creating a brand new future identity to enjoy. Through liberating our relationship with ourselves, we can move into a seeing, feeling, and understanding the total perfection that exists at the core of our being. The wound is the place where the light enters you. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Rumi. As we are observing how everything has been perfect in our past and inner worlds, we start to unravel the vision to see the absolute perfection that exists in our outer world. We can see that even those challenging childish relationships where we played the angry victim role are our greatest pivotal awakening moments needed to reveal our deepest wounded aspects, which needed love. As we learn to honor the necessity of our wounded parts, we become grateful for them. Because through diving into this healing journey, that we discover the most sacred, enlightening experience that our souls signed up to explore, so to speak. We see that we needed our wounds to manifest exactly the way they did, so that we could deepen, soften, and evolve beyond our resilient egos, and eventually find our spiritual journey home. It's good to know that one of the main reasons why we all are on this amazing planet right now, excuse me, is to find and follow out our soul's highest purpose and life mission. We are each spiritual explorers on a journey into the greatest cosmic spiritual awakening of all, our lifetimes. This is a destiny and main purpose for being here. We've unconsciously allowed our minds to be programmed with illusions of separation and perceived limitations, just so that we could become deeply motivated someday, excuse me, to investigate the truth of our immortal cosmic essence. By accepting that our mission is to transcend these illusionary limitations, we can stop fighting with them and truly enjoy our time here on Earth. When we stop struggling and battling ourselves from within, trying to micromanage our experience, we can truly enjoy the entire ride. As we learn how to embody the truth that we are spiritual beings, eternal souls, with an infinite amount of time to get it right. We stop stressing about the small stuff and see that every moment of our existence is a galaxy to enter the divine. We know that the mundane contains the extraordinary, and no ordinary event is trivial, but a deeply spiritual portal of exploration designed perfectly for our souls. We can realize that every being on this planet is an eternal soul, who is also the most important puzzle piece needed to fit perfectly and complete this grand masterpiece called life. When we practice becoming more sensitive to seeing and feeling the perfection within ourselves, we end up naturally healing the wounded parts of our inner world. Some people require to see the perfection first before they can feel it. Others may need to feel it before they can believe it. However you explore your inner world, the main journey is to be open and gentle with yourself. It takes an unstoppable warrior to love and for love, to uncover, accept, and find peace with the deepest fears, lacks, and insecurities buried inside. Through healing ourselves, the perfection becomes evident. And through seeing the perfection, we end up healing ourselves. If we don't focus on healing our inner world, we'll just end up becoming half-functional, wounded, defensive humans who easily react and bleed whenever another person says or does the wrong thing. It is only through becoming the more conscious, sensitive, and in touch with feeling the seething wounds in our emotional bodies that we can become sensitive enough to feel the vast perfection that touches every atom of every galaxy in this entire universe. The important thing is to not stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existing. One cannot help but be in awe when he contemplates the mysteries of eternity, of life, of the marvelous structure of reality. It is enough if one tries merely to comprehend a little of this mystery every day. Never lose a holy curiosity. Albert Einstein. The good news is that as we practice heightening our sensitivity, we also develop a natural protection from the unconscious pattern of re-wounding ourselves further. The more we truly care about ourselves, the more our courage and willingness increases to look inside our darkest corners of our past. It is from this courage that we will find true peace with all of our past emotional baggage and an effervescent liberation bubbling through our lives. This choice to be a healing vessel for ourselves each and every day, skyrockets us into the highest vibration and energy. By letting our wounds be guiding light in our dark unconscious, we stop avoiding our pain and start seeing the blessing, the deep eternal love it has to give us. The day we come to know that our greatest darkness contains our most sacred source of light, we find the power to manifest a truly joyous, loving, abundant life that is fulfilling on every level. The way I see it, we only suffer in life because we're still living a lie. We only suffer in this life because we are living a lie. The lie is some belief that it's more important than the yearning to really see the perfection in every living, breathing moment. What do you think would happen if we all made our main job as spiritual beings to be free from all the lies, games we are playing with ourselves? What if it was as simple as choosing to stop playing that old 8-track tape which we've been rewinding again and again in the back of our minds? Who would we become, and how would we behave differently in our lives? It is only through consciously loving ourselves that we can move beyond the incessant repetition of thoughts that our minds regurgitate daily. By consciously living in this pure state of awareness, we step into the fire of our spiritual connection and uncover our real power. With enough time spent in this silent state of pure awareness, we are able to drop the mind that refuses to acknowledge and admit that everything is perfect just the way it is. The volumes of judgments that we were inflicting upon ourselves no longer hold precedence, and we naturally slip into seeing and feeling the natural state of perfection that is already here now. Bringing awareness to an experience, to any experience in this life, is like turning on a bright light in a dimly lit room. When we simply flip the switch, it becomes obvious that perfection is everywhere we look. We can finally understand why we were treating ourselves poorly and how this was an important spiritual component of the greater master plan. Through awareness, we stop ignoring those hideous things that we felt everyone wanted us to keep in the dark. When the lights are fully on, we cannot continue hiding our eyes and pretend that life is something other than what it is. In the light of pure awareness, we find the strength to make it beyond our wounded story and discover that we already are all-powerful, super-manifesting beings who don't need to struggle or to survive. We don't need to struggle to survive. A new type of truth is born that contains the most wholesome, loving response, and this frees us from any potentially future triggering situation. Falling in love to remain a child. Rising in love, you mature. By and by, love becomes not a relationship. It becomes a state of your being. Not that you're in love. Now, you are love. Osho. One of the most motivating reasons to deal with the wounded demons from our past is that it instantly opens the door to having a deeply heart-opening, spiritually enlightening experience of life. The mundane becomes sacred. Burdening tasks turn into opportunistic adventures. And we spontaneously find this natural tendency to laugh and play with others more often. We take the serious people less seriously, and we make more time to bathe in self-love and gratitude, and a real deep appreciation for this life. When we can abide in this effervescent, non-serious state of spiritual lightness for several weeks, a higher level of joy pierces through the core of our being. We discovered that a profound state of bliss follows us throughout our normal day. And what soon manifests is a permanent state of freedom that cannot be limited, blocked, or stopped by any event in the outer world. The enlightened state is nothing to scoff at, for it is direct with continuous meeting with the God source itself. Wherever you go, wherever you are, you feel this gentle, flowing, sacred breath of life coursing through your body, allowing your mind to experience complete harmony and unity with all that is. The enlightened state is a very real experience. It is a perpetual state of expansion into a divine state of bliss. It is not a head trip that rides on a single glimpse of truth or a past epiphany that needs to proclaim it. It knows something special. It is not a spiritualized ego that loves sharing its glimpse of vast knowledge with others for strokes of appreciation. It is certainly not an intellectual experience of reality. The enlightened state is truly free from the mind, where life is directly met without assessment, analysis, or judgment. Since the mind is no longer in the way, the emotional body relaxes, expands, and naturally becomes a highly receptive, sensitive vessel so that more of the divine can enter. By being in a continuous feeling of relaxation, the highest enlightened state can easily root itself in our lives. And seeing the perfection within all things becomes obvious. One can simply sit on a park bench alongside a busy street and effortlessly drop into a blissful state of perfect meditation. The mind becomes our ally and starts seeing the God source in all things, acknowledging that there is nothing that could be separate from this source. For every moment, we acknowledge that we are surrounded by perfection on all sides. The wounded self is forced to stop attempting to steer the mind. We simply become unhooked from those past memories of feeling hurt, rejected, or furious about what happened way back when. Real healing happens, and the mind is deeply quieted in every instant. The sweet source of silence is so powerful that 1 second of it can relieve lifetimes of screaming obscenities hiding in the basement of the subconscious mind. So I invite you to explore a very enlightening and personally challenging assignment this week. Every morning this week, coming up, be curious about how your deepest insecurities, fears, and wounds are not by accident, but the secret ingredient to your spiritual growth. See how each one is creating your life purpose and helping you see and feel the total perfection of the universe contains. Feel into how each pain is truly a gift, that it is as important to the overall success of your life as the golden sun above. Understand why your soul needed to manifest these specific pains, and how each drama, has helped you deepen your search for the divinity that lives and breathes in your very core. Find gratitude for the fears you are working with today, knowing this is a fertilizer that keeps you constantly sprouting and radiating into a blossoming being who is fully alive. The most courageous step we can take on the path to total liberation is always the first one. So if you will, go to a place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our body, head to toe, inside and out. And this is done by the breath. Easy in through the nose, easy out through the mouth. And by the breath, by embracing the breath, which is divine sacred energy, because it emanates from the God source of us, which we are, all of us in these bodies, and that we are pure, deep, eternal love. When you breath, you silence, you still the ego mind and the subconscious mind. You leave them alone. Because when you're in the now, only in the moment to moment, the mind chatter is gone. All this stuff disappears because the ego mind cannot exist in the now. Tens of millions of thoughts, billions of thoughts, programs flying by like clouds in the sky. None of them, maybe a smidgen, maybe a micro, a quantum particle is ours. And the rest are everybody else's. Not only the ones that are here now, but all the ones that have been here. We project over 60,000 thoughts a day on our own. You know it's not your thought when it comes in. You know it is your thought when you send it out. You know the difference. You feel it. This is imperative so that we are, with ourselves, that we are gentle, kind, generous, humble, and in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, purest of the purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. So when we do, because we do, we get distracted by something in this material, physical world, and we find ourselves out of the now, floating off in some memory or some thought that isn't ours. When that happens, we know. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. 3,000% of the time. Every single time. You focus on your breath, you're in the now. No matter what's happening outside of you. So you're able to engineer, to master the ego mind through this process. And you're able to keep yourself more and more in the now. Because after you get used to being in the now to a certain extent, why would you ever go back to the state you were existing in? All of your stress, tension, anxiety, fears, worry, guilt, gone. It's not the ego mind sending this to you. The insecurities of the ego mind, pumping this into you constantly and causing you to think about it, manifest it, bring it into your life. That's the true way to relax the body. And you'll find yourself doing it more and more. Oh, I've flown off. And other things, other thoughts. I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. Now picture in your heart mind your body, the body you're in. And you see 7 wheels of light, chakras, which means wheel, balls of light, wheels of light. And they go from your tailbone to the top of your head. Now these are connected to this body, the bodies that we're in, to everything. All the emotions, all the character, all the personality, all the organs, all the blood flow, everything, right down to the quantum quark. And as each of us decide to take the journey within and engage it, we will come into the full understanding and conclusion that each of us, the gods that we are in these bodies, are the power of healing the bodies. We aren't there quite yet, but we're getting there. Now, we know, we wouldn't be in this Global Guided Meditation call if we didn't know this. We know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest the deepest deepest, purest the purest purest, eternal love. It's what we're made of. It's the highest high vibrational frequencies. So the God that we are enters the body, powers the body, everything comes online. Breath is created, sustaining the body so the God can stay in it. So we're heaven on earth. God's the heaven, kingdom of God, heaven, body's the earth. And because we're consciously aware, every step we take, we're creating paradise. Every step we take, we're creating paradise. Not only that, and we're saturating this planet head to toe, inside and out, with this love, we're shining our light as well. The light emanates from our core existence, the God, the love, the pure consciousness. And this whole planet, on it, in it, above and below it, is being saturated, permeated, and flooded with this love. There's no escape. There's no escape for the lower dark matter, survivor matter frequencies. Now, some of us may learn this in this lifetime, that when we decide to leave the body, and we get out into the sacredness of space, we know that we are the light. The light emanates from the love that we are. And we won't follow a light that shows up tunnel light, however it appears. It is a matrix trick to keep us in a proverbial over and over and over again scenario, and to keep us in one place. That place, the other side, the matrix. So we say no. But it'll pursue you. It'll chase you. But you say no. It'll press you, manipulate you. But you'll say no. So if you were to take a ship off this planet, far enough out so the planet looks about the size of a basketball, you would see that it glowed. And figure this one. There's 8 billion of us in humanoid form, not including the trees and everything else on this planet that gods inhabit for experience. And the lights around us in the universe pale in comparison. It's like a candle lit in a dark room. Dim, dim, dim. Now picture yourself standing in front of 3 paths. You got a golden pad in each area that you stand on. And the one in the middle that you're standing on, that we're all standing on, is the now. One on the left is the past, one on the right is the future. Now we notice that these paths pretty much to us look the same. Right? We see the canopy of trees forming a roof over each path, and the trees are shimmering gold, the leaves are gold, the bark. And we notice that the path itself is just a brilliant, vibrant, emerald green, flaming grass. But we do notice that the one on the left, the past, is really worn. And the one on the right, the future, is really worn. But we notice that the path we're standing on, the now, looks almost brand new. You see how progressive and imperative and strengthening it is for us to practice being in the now. Well, we all have memories, right? We all celebrate them. We all have fun with them. We use them as references sometimes. We fall back on them to remind us of things, okay? And the good, the not so good. And so we'll go in our room, our subconscious mind, our library. Open the door, turn on the light. Grab some movies, a couple of books and pictures. Sit in the easy chair, watch the movies, look at some of the pictures, read a couple of pages of the book. Okay? We enjoy that. It's fun. But we don't stay there. We put everything away, nice and neatly, turn off the light, close the door, and move forward in this life. There's some of us, though, I don't believe it's conscious. I believe it's unconscious. Some of us will go there, and we end up staying there so long that we end up bringing it into the future that doesn't exist. And we'll create that future from that past, and we will relive that past and that future. And that's why some of us will say, no matter what we do, we always end up here. Now, a lot of us will go into the future because in the future really doesn't exist. We create the future in the now. But we still go into this future. And we always wonder, and we're always asking, when, how, where, why. We always ask these things. Why is this happening to me? And when am I going to have this? And Where is it going to be? And if we don't get those answers, we'll seek external authority to give us answers. And usually psychic, astrologer, many different external authorities. And so when you get this, you focus on it. Okay, this is great. Now I know what's going to happen. Now I know what I can expect. And once you take that road, you begin to suffer. So honestly, the now is all we have and all we have ever had, ever beyond and forever. And we stay in the now. We know how. We use our breath. We focus on it. We stay there. We master the ego mind. We master the subconscious mind. Now, we're always gathered. The separation, the illusion, that tricks us. See? Oh, this body I'm in is separate than that body over there. The God within them are separate too. And your response is to your ego mind is that no, I am one. I am one with everything. And everything is one with me. So we're here to liberate this planet, bottom line. Head to toe, inside and out, like we've been doing for well over 4 years. Now, we're in the numbers of Googleplexes. Googleplex fills this universe with not even a square inch of sacred space to spare. These are trillions of Googleplexes coming from choice and direction. And sure, not all of us are awake, but we're still part of each other. Now, this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever. This is the archangels, cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is the ascended masters, Guanyin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Moria, Medantia, Pale Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth, all the off-worlders, galactics, and celestials, all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, all the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All here, all together, all focused on the restructure of planet Earth. It's the higher vibration. Higher vibrations of deep eternal love. And we're all in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And we're all one, and we're all God, and we're all love, and our God force love light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to grow, expand, and intensify. Now, the archangels, their civilization vibrate at a different frequency than we do. So we don't see them like we see each other. But that we interact with them. Not necessarily when we're in the interaction. And usually it's with a stranger we've never met before. And then we talk and chat and interact. And then it ends and you go about your way. And afterwards it kind of dawns on us at times that, hey, that was an angel. And you feel a little bliss when you identify that. And they have message. And the message is, and they deliver it in just a plethora of ways, and have for tens of thousands of years. But they're helping us to remember. And they ask and say, isn't it absolutely magna, glorious to be alive in these bodies? And it is. But see, the thing missing for us all, how do we compare? Do we know what we are and who we are, number one? Do we know what we are outside these bodies? Many don't. So, for instance, and some of us know that when we decide to leave these bodies, we don't. It's a whole different existence. We don't taste, we don't smell, we don't eat, we don't drink, we don't make love, we don't kiss, we don't hold hands, we don't laugh, we don't cry, we don't do any of that. None of it. We don't see it through these eyes. We don't take a nice inhale of spring air. We don't do any of that stuff. We're ball of lights, omnipotently powerful spirit etheric energy. We have the opportunity to go anywhere we want and inhabit any existence that we choose, because we're always learning. So that's why they remind us. That's why they come to us and they send these messages, and in the hopes and having faith that we'll begin to awaken, and we will begin to go within, the journey within, and we will begin to discover the gods that we are. And we will embrace that discovery, and we will expand upon it. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can house a large number in a small area. So if you ask them, or when you ask them, they'll be there. Split second. And you'll feel bliss. Now, ascended masters, they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. The light energy beings, we don't see them with the eyes that we have with these bodies. In fact, we only see 1% of what is. But there's many in light spectrums, different light spectrums: violet, ultraviolet, red, infrared, blue, greens. There's massive numbers of them, shapes, color, sizes, forms, configurations. But there is one group. Part of that group, these bodies we're in are absolutely paramount dependent upon. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. It's not a big group. But ask your body, can you survive without air? No. Can you survive without earth, without water, without fire, without ether, without wood? No to none of that, to all of that. None. No. These bodies we're in are just super glued to these elementals. And you can see why. We want these bodies to stay around, sustain us as long as we can, to experience as much of this life as we can. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, There's over 1,000 species, civilizations that travel through the solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universe every day. Now we're familiar, again, with a small group. Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. Now they've been assisting us in our physical evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. We immediately form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This emanates from the gods that we are in these bodies, the pure love that we are. It gives off the brightest of the brightest lights ever. And it is pure, deep, eternal love. It's saturating this planet. It is immersing, flooding, permeating this deep, pure love, head to toe, inside now. Now we begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. Now, we coming up with anything on this planet that we've seen, compare with it, doesn't come close. So we construct. And we take a grand finale fireworks display that we've never seen. All the fireworks displays collected on this planet don't even come close. A grand finale laser light show display, and the ballroom globe that reflects all light 360 degrees everywhere. Except this one's about 1 trillion times larger, 1 trillion times more intense. Now, if we were to take all those and picture them through our heart, minds, motion pictures, and we were to take them all, and we were to just bring them all together, merge them into one massive crescendo, then we would be close to describing the ocean of glitter. Now, we're curious, so we seek out the reflective points, which are everywhere. And as we get closer, we notice these tiny little microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. We enter them, and we are absolutely blown away because all of us, in all existence and beyond, are learning and teaching from each other. Not all of us inhabit humanoid form. We inhabit other forms. And you can, the tree, well, the tree is life. Not really. The God that enters the tree gives the tree life. Okay? Just like the elements. The elements support that tree from the mother, the earth. So it, and through the ability to take in oxygen and breathe in carbon dioxide and breathe out oxygen. It's drink the water. Soak in the sun, fire. So we realize that all of us, all the gods that we are inhabiting different forms on this planet, on it, in it, above and below it. And we're experiencing them. And any time you wish to know what it's like to be in any one of them, be quiet, still. Focus on the now. Listen. See through the heart, mind's motion picture. And you'll know exactly what it feels like to be whatever it is you're focused on, wondering what it's like to be. Now we're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created, the gods that we are within these bodies. That we are the power of healing. We're then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all, the gods that we are within these bodies, that we are omnipotently powerful, strong, and resolve. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected by a white fire armor. And of course, the white fire armor emanates from the gods within these bodies, pure, deep, eternal love. Now, we're protected all the time. We're protected from demon possession, attachments, all lower dark matter, survival matter, our physical, our bodies, our spirit, everything. But, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequencies low enough, whether consciously or unconsciously, your hatred, greed, anger, fear, envy, hurriedness, revenge, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough to create a breach in your white fire armor. Now, if you do decide to do this, because all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in, and you have the opportunity to have demon possession, attachments, many other things. So you're immediately met with a double column of light. First part of the column is purple transmuting flame. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. We are then met with the second part of the column, which is the violet ray. We created this part of the column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can use the violet ray, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, and restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest of the purest, purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that all of us, the gods that we are, created to remind ourselves that we are the sun. We are the sunlight. We are sunset and sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the mountains, the valleys, the clouds, the skies, the trees, the forests, the soils, everything. We're everything. Everything is us. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. So the next time you see a sunset, sunrise, mountain view, ocean front, star-lit night sky, normally, because we think we're separate, we'll look at it and we'll say, isn't that beautiful? But then some of us will understand that we will say, that is the God that I am. Through the heart mind, not the head. That is the God that I am. Try it. You'll be amazed at the change or the shift within you. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above it because if we're carrying physical form. And the reason we do this is because we can, and it's really fun. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created it, larger than the solar system and beyond. And in the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. Now, we discovered that the golden white ball of light happens to be the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, and purest, purest, eternal love. And then comes gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And we discover that all of this and the massive, super bright white misty clouds sparkling and shimmering, it's absorbed through our heart minds, feels like a warm embrace that never ends. This is all a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of the column, we designed this so the golden ocean can come cascading down 24/7, infinity and beyond. What is golden ocean? It is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, that which we're made of and from. And it's flooding, saturating, permeating this entire planet, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, on it, in it, above it, and below it. We're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. Now we see our meditative sphere. It's at center circle. We created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds nearly 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. All these meditations, every day, sometimes twice a day, for over 4 years. Hundreds of millions of us, on and off world, consciously aware, focused on this planet. And it's complete liberation. Feel that. Feel all the stages and all the intensity of this highest vibrational frequency of deep eternal love. Saturating all dark matter, lower survival matter frequencies are vaporizing, evaporating from the planet, and the blackest of the blackest black. Vapor. They are then being absorbed into the pure consciousness where they are no more. That's why this sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to grow. This world is our mirror. Our response in relation to every being on this planet reflects our inner consciousness. The mirror is always present, always reflecting what we most need to know, allowing ourselves to observe, learn, and grow on our soul's path to angelic development. I join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the nose. And an easy breath out through the mouth. Be still. This universe has a plan for each of us. It is divine. It is magnificent. It is our soul's plan as well. Would you like to know it? It will be fully revised to each of us the moment we let go of everything in our lives and experience our true self in each moment as unbounded and infinite. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night. We will return here Sunday, April 3rd, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.